Alright guys, this is going to be my Dragon Knight, aka the Flamewalker guide for Roshpit Champions 2.4. As you'll see, my Flamewalker is not as geared, not as optimized as my Epoch Guardian. I've spent a lot more hours on my Epoch Guardian. This guy isn't even level 120 yet, but he's more than well enough equipped to one-shot those Paragon heroes, one-shot those bosses. You are the one-shot machine. You have one job to one-shot the bosses. You don't have any other job in this game. That is all you do, and it is very fun most of the time. Unless you've got someone else who can one-shot them, then you don't have a job anymore, and you'll be unemployed, and you may as well just uninstall the game, Alt F4, just delete your character. There's just no point in playing. And you definitely cannot solo Legend, so it's going to be very difficult for me to showcase the one-shot, but I'm going to give it my best go. So first of all, when you're making your Dragon Knight, it's going to be very rough through the early stages of the game. You probably don't want to build like how I've built now through the early game, especially the items. The build you can probably do, like as in the runes and the base skills, but you do not want some of these items through the early game, as it'll make it very difficult for you to just clear trash mobs. Because you, like I mentioned before, you're not a trash mob clearer, you're a boss clearer, you're a Paragon mob clearer. That is your job, and you're very, very good at that job. Now, what you'll notice is you have a crap load of points into Mount Strike and Dragon Aspect. These two things, and arguably a little bit of this, is all you need to one-shot anything. One-shot, yes. Two-shot, maybe three-shot, but most of the time it's going to die very quickly. Now, the reason it does that is for a number of reasons. This is just ridiculous. Every time this procs, it does your attack damage times by 10 bajillion million on the proc, so very sexy. That combined with the Super Sentry Mask, which gives you double damage and range when you cast your ultimate, Secret Temple, which again gives you double damage, Gauntlets of Divine Purity, which gives you an extra 100% pure damage, Omega Ruby, which gives you an extra 100% magic damage in an area splash, and the Yasha Boots are just for the health and attack speed. Yasha Boots can be replaced with these ones I'll show you. You can get something else other than Yasha Boots, but I prefer the Yasha Boots just for having the attack speed all the time. You could use, where is it? These? No, these. If you had some Strength Admiral Boots, it gives you 100 of this and 100 of this, which again would bring your attack speed up to maximum, and it would actually give you more Dragon Aspect. But I just prefer to have the static amount of extra strength and attack speed rather than have to rely on my Admiral Boots all the time. And you could also use these if you had some Bone Guard Gauntlets and you didn't really care too much about one-shotting. It tanks you up quite a little bit more. If you use like Bone Guard Gauntlets, Yasha Boots, and you can get a Lifesteal Helmet, you could actually become quite tanky, but where's the fun in that? There's no fun being a tank. You want to one-shot things. So glyphs, there's not really much to go through on the glyphs. Reduce the cooldown of Heat Wave, which is this one, because it means you can do this more often. Secret Temple, double damage. You want a blade with Mountain Strike and Dragon Aspect on it. Starting off, you can go for just Mountain Strike, but then in the late game you really want something with both. It doesn't matter if it's too low. I mean, I got a pretty good roll on these ones, got 300 on Mountain Strike and Dragon Aspect. You don't need that much, but every little bit helps. My opinion, Gauntlets of Divine Purity, very sexy. I'd use these for the one-shotness. Omega Ruby with Mountain Strike preferably. I got, again, quite lucky and got a double Mountain Strike Omega Ruby. Super Sentry Mask for the double damage and the range. Again, Yasha Boots for the attack speed. I'm pretty sure that's everything. Glyphs, there's not really... Yeah, you can get any glyphs, really. I mean, the glyphs, there's nothing that really changes your capabilities to one-shot. Now, when you're starting off as well, the ones you want to focus on would be Mountain Strike, Dragon Aspect. Incendiary Blade gives you a little bit of cleave, so it does an extra 80% of your attack damage in a cleave, which is nice. That coupled with Omega Ruby will let you sometimes one-shot more than one thing at a time, which is kind of fun as well. Why wouldn't you want to do that? Anyway, I will try and find a Legend mob to demonstrate this on, and hopefully I won't die. Before I go in, the combo you want to do is obviously you charge up your ultimate, so you get your Secret Temple Helm proc, you E, and then you E when you want to stop, and then you just attack, and hopefully something will die. It doesn't look very specky there, so I've got to actually show you on some mobs. But you'll see when it procs, because you jump up into the air and do some sort of like somersault thing. And hopefully I find a Paragon mob and don't die. But you're very squishy, you want to kill stuff before it gets to you, otherwise you will just die. Even though you've got lots of health from your attack speed and Yasha Boots, you'll just die. So as you can see, as a proc there, it doesn't really mean anything on these little mobs. I'm going to try and find something big and juicy.
Yes.
Alright, no luck so far.
A shield shall clap.
You really want to try not let your Seed of Temple drop off, because you'll die very quickly. You don't really have any sustain.
Cut him up.
Oh, okay, so there's one Paragon mob, and I'm almost dead. So this isn't going very well already. I'm probably going to die. Oh, there we go. There we go. Okay, my Dragon Aspect fell off, that's why I didn't end up one-shotting all those other ones. Now I'm going to have to run like a little girl, and hopefully come back. Right, come on. There we go, one shot.
Yes.
So there we go, that's how it's done. If you're in a group, obviously that's much easier because you have a big tank at the front, or you have other people soaking up a lot of the hits for you. But then normally you can just sit at the back, and then when everyone else is getting kind of messed up, you come in and save the day with your big combo. So I got kind of lucky there, got 3 Paragon mobs, and I think the first one I didn't one-shot, but the other 2 I most definitely did. And my gear isn't even really optimized that much. I mean, it's pretty good, a lot of the gear that I've got. I could have more strength here, I could have better rolls here. But yeah, at the end of the day, you don't really need that much to be able to pull off the one-shot. So again, any questions, just comment in the comment section below, and I'll be more than happy to answer them for you.